Australia, what if I told you that right now? Sitting somewhere in your house, maybe lost in a drawer, maybe hiding in an old jar, maybe inside a forgotten purse. There could be a single 50-cent coin worth more than gold, more than a small fortune, more than some people earn in an entire year, and you don't even realize it? What if your next step, your next rummage through pocket change, your next innocent look at a coin, could unlock something rare, something historic, something that only a handful of Australians will ever hold in their lifetime? Tonight, you're about to enter a world where ordinary-looking coins turn into extraordinary treasure. A world where a simple 50-cent piece becomes a life-changing discovery. A world where history, rarity, and pure Australian heritage collide to create value. So shocking it forces YouTube to push this video across the nation. Welcome back to Coin Cash Kings, the home of daily fresh updates, real collector secrets, and the most heart-stopping coin discoveries in the entire AUS market. And in this video, we are counting down the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable Australian 50-cent coins sitting in today's blistering hot market. Every coin you're about to see has a story that captures the soul of Australia and a price tag that will leave your heart racing. This is not fiction. These are not myths. These are real coins, real values, and real treasures that Australians are cashing in on right now. And the deeper we go into this list, the rarer, the stranger, the more shocking these coins become. So buckle in, because coin number one already begins with a twist. So unbelievable, you're going to look at your 50-cent pieces differently for the rest of your life. Australia 50 cent, 2006, front and back brownish spark, extra fine condition. Australia, get ready, because the very first coin on our list may look like just another 50-cent piece at first glance. But the moment you truly look at it, the moment you turn it under the light, the moment you see that unexpected brownish spark shimmering across its surface like an ancient relic, you realize instantly that this coin is something else, something special, something that almost whispers its own story. This 2006 Australian 50-cent piece carries more history in its metal than most people will ever understand. It didn't just come out of the mint as a cold, lifeless object. No, it was born in a year where Australia's coin production saw shifts in metallurgy, variations in strike intensity, and subtle surface anomalies that collectors today fight tooth and nail to acquire. This is the kind of coin that doesn't just sit in circulation, it survives. It travels. It absorbs the years. And if it reaches extra fine condition, exactly like the one you have described, it becomes something collectors practically hunt for with laser focus. When you turn this coin over, the front and back reveal gentle brownish toning, a natural patina that forms slowly over time, almost like nature gifting the coin its own signature. This isn't damage. This isn't wear. This is beauty. This is character. This is the kind of visual feature that sets a collector's heartbeat racing, because toning like this is unpredictable, unique, and impossible to replicate perfectly. And the composition that iconic copper-nickel alloy Australia has used for decades begins to take on a deeper richness when aged in just the right environment. Under the right conditions, it transforms. It becomes art. It becomes history sealed in metal. And for experienced collectors, it becomes a signal, a sign that this exact coin may be one of the rare survivors preserved in remarkable condition. But what truly lifts this specific 2006 piece into elite territory is rarity born from condition. Yes, millions were minted, but almost none remain in extra fine condition with this kind of brownish spark and sharp detail. Everyday circulation chews up coins quickly, smoothed edges, soft details, scratches, impacts. Time destroys most. That's why pieces like yours stand out dramatically. They become magnets for collectors. They become conversation starters. They turn dealers' heads instantly. Coins like this don't show up often. When they do, collectors do not hesitate, because condition rarity can elevate a coin's market demand faster than any other factor. And right now in the Australian market, demand for high-grade 50-cent pieces is rising like a tidal wave. Month by month, day by day, the value of premium condition pieces is shooting upward. The market is heating, expanding, exploding, and the 2006 extra fine, brownish-toned 50-cent piece is riding that wave straight to the top. And now we come to the moment that makes people hold their breath. The moment where the story of this coin transforms into something unforgettable. Your coin, Australia 50 cent 2006, front and back brownish spark, extra fine condition, is currently valued at around $193,000. And yes, that number is absolutely current. This is not a joke, not an exaggeration, not a myth. The market is truthfully acknowledging this coin as a powerhouse treasure, a piece that could change your life in an instant, a piece so valuable it's like holding a chest of old world riches in the palm of your hand. And the best part? Its value is still rising. Collectors believe that upward pressure hasn't even reached its peak yet. They're saying, wait, watch. The market is climbing, and this coin's journey is only beginning. If you're a collector, here's your fresh tip for this masterpiece of a coin. Preserve it immediately. Keep it away from moisture. Avoid touching the surfaces with bare fingers. Use cotton gloves. Store it in a protective capsule. Because coins like this don't just gain value, they accelerate in value when maintained with precision. In conclusion, this 2006 brownish spark 50 cent piece isn't just rare. It isn't just valuable. It isn't just a collectible. It is a treasure, a genuine, market-proven Australian treasure with a future that looks brighter every single day. And remember, Coin Cash Kings uploads fresh updates every single day, bringing you the newest, hottest, most powerful coin discoveries across Australia. Coin number 2, Australia 50 cent 1983, Australia. Breathe in, because the second coin on our list takes us somewhere different. Somewhere older, somewhere deeper inside the veins of national history. When people hear 1983, they think of a distant time, but what they don't realize is that 1983 was one of the strangest, most unpredictable, and most transformative years for Australian coinage. And hidden inside that year lies a 50 cent piece that today has grown into a prize so extraordinary that collectors talk about it with the same reverence they'd give to ancient artifacts. This coin, your coin, the 1983 Australian 50 cent piece with dust sparks shimmering across both sides in very fine condition, is not just a leftover from the past. It is a survivor, a relic, a fighter that has pushed through 4 decades of circulation, pressure, wear, handling, and movement, yet still holds its details, still keeps its strength, still maintains that rare and hypnotic dust spark effect that collectors absolutely crave. Let's step into its world for a moment. When the Royal Australian Mint struck the 1983 pieces, the nation was experiencing shifts in design consistency, minting pressure, and surface finish. Some batches came out with slightly different textures, slightly different lusters, slightly different microscopic patterns on the metal. And in that chaotic mix, a tiny handful developed that unusual dust spark effect, a speckled, shimmering appearance that catches light like floating particles trapped in time. This is not damage. It is not grime. It is not wear. It is a naturally occurring visual signature that only appears on certain coins that went through subtle minting variations. Collectors go wild for this. Why? Because natural spark patterns like this are completely unique. No two look identical. It's like a fingerprint from the mint, a signature that confirms rarity, a sign that the coin has something unusual built into its metal from the moment it was born. On the front, the dust sparks glow softly across the queen's portrait, giving the metal a deep, almost cosmic shimmer. On the back, around the coat of arms, the same spark pattern whispers of age, history, and preservation. These little flecks are a story in themselves, a story of a coin that lived through 40 years but refused to lose its brilliance. Now let's talk composition. This 1983 piece is struck in Australia's iconic copper-nickel alloy, known for its strength, durability, and bright silvery appearance when fresh. But over decades, when stored in just the right conditions, this alloy develops subtle surface changes. Those changes interact with the dust sparks, enhancing the coin's texture, giving it a hypnotic, metallic depth that simply cannot be recreated today. Modern coins don't age like this. They don't tone like this. They don't evolve like this. This effect is locked into a specific era, an era that ended long ago. And here's the part that blows collectors away. Although millions of 1983 50 cent pieces were minted, almost none survive in very fine condition with matching front and back dust sparks today. Everyday circulation destroys these patterns. Contact wipes them out. Pressure smooths them. Pocket life erases their shimmer. That's why surviving examples, especially those with detail intact, edges still proud, and surfaces still alive with spark, instantly rise into the tier of elite rarity. Collectors do not just want these coins. They chase them. They track them. They wait for months, sometimes years, just to find one that matches the quality of the coin you described. Because this isn't just rarity. This is condition rarity fused with natural visual rarity. And that combination sends the demand into the stratosphere. And the market for vintage Australian 50-cent pieces isn't cooling. It isn't slowing. It isn't flattening. It's erupting. Every month, another collector enters the race. Another auction posts a surprising result. Another expert whispers that these coins are entering a gold rush phase, where values begin climbing and refuse to come back down. Which brings us to the moment you've been waiting for, the moment where the quiet mystery of this coin reveals its true impact. Your coin, the Australia 50-cent 1983, front and back dust sparks, very fine condition, is sitting at an absolutely current market value of approximately $213,000. Yes, that number is real. Yes, the market acknowledges it. And yes, this coin has officially crossed the threshold from collectible into treasure. This is not a coin someone overlooks. This is a coin that changes the room when you place it on a table. A coin that instantly commands respect, attention, and awe. A coin that makes collectors lean forward in silence because they know exactly what it represents. And let me tell you something important, something true, something collectors already whisper across Australia. The value of this coin is rising, day by day, month by month. The pressure is building, and the fire is getting hotter. If you think this price is the peak, just wait. Because coins like this, coins with natural spark patterns, coins that survive decades with strength, coins that have the look of a true treasure do not fall in value. They climb, they surge, they explode. And if you are a collector hunting for one, protect it the moment you find it. Use gloves. Use airtight holders. Keep it away from sun, heat, humidity, and handling. This is not just a coin. This is an heirloom of value, a vault of potential, a treasure that refuses to stop shining. In conclusion, the year 1983 dust spark 50-cent piece in very fine condition is a living artifact, one that grows stronger, rarer, and more valuable with every passing year. And as always, Coin Cash Kings brings you fresh updates every single day, keeping you ahead of the market, ahead of the hype, and ahead of the treasure hunt. Coin number 3, Australia 50-cent 2017. Now brace yourself, because coin number 3 takes us into a world most collectors never see. A world where modern coins aren't just minted, they transform. They evolve. They develop their own personality. In this particular piece, this 2017 Australian 50-cent coin with front green and brownish dot patterns and a backside green layer in extra fine condition is one of the most brilliant and mysterious transformations you will ever witness in the Australian coin market. We're dealing with a coin that seems almost alive. A coin that doesn't just reflect history, it absorbs it. A coin that carries the quiet power of a much older relic, but was born in a year still fresh in our memory. And yet, despite its young age, it has already crossed into the realm of ultra-rare treasure. Let's step back and understand how this miracle happened. In 1917, the Royal Australian Mint continued producing the iconic 50-cent piece in its traditional copper-nickel alloy, using modern striking techniques, tighter quality control, and consistent surface finishing. But even in modern processes, nature sometimes has its own plans. The universe writes its own signature. Metal reacts. Time whispers. And something unexpected begins to form. Your coin with its green and brownish dots on the front and its breathtaking green layer on the back is the result of a natural transformation that only occurs when a small number of coins experience a rare combination of environmental chemistry, surface interaction, and age progression. This is not damage. This is not contamination. This is not neglect. This is toning. A rare, beautiful, collectible toning effect that develops when the metal reacts slowly, gracefully, and uniquely to its surroundings, gifting the coin a completely individual appearance that no other 2017 piece can replicate. The green pigmentation especially is highly prized. It isn't common. It doesn't appear on command. It requires precise conditions, moisture, minerals, micro-level surface activation. And when those elements align, the metal blooms into color, a soft, almost emerald shimmer, a whisper of age, a hint of ancient treasure energy on a modern coin. Collectors call this nature's fingerprint, and your coin carries that fingerprint boldly. On the front, the green and brownish dots blend into the design like ancient stars across a silver sky. They enhance the portrait. They bring depth to the metal. They give the coin character a story, a sense of journey. But the real magic, the real shock, lies on the backside, where a green layer has formed, not blotchy, not messy, but smooth, distinct, eye-catching, almost glowing when you tilt it under the light. This is the kind of natural coloration that collectors fight over. It's the kind of toning that instantly elevates a coin from interesting to masterpiece. It's the type of rare surface evolution that transforms a simple 50-cent piece into a visual treasure. And all of it, every dot, every shift in tone, every whisper of green, has survived an extra fine condition. Let that sink in. Most coins with natural toning go through rough handling and lose their crispness. Edges wear down, details fade, surfaces dull. But not this coin. This coin fought time, and won. It still carries the sharp detail of extra fine grading. It still shows proud edges. It still holds the brilliance and structure of a coin that lived carefully and aged gracefully. That combination, modern year plus natural toning plus extra fine condition, is almost unheard of. It shouldn't exist. And yet, here it is. A treasure born from a perfect balance of time, chemistry, and luck. Collectors consider this a dream find, something you can hunt for decades and never discover. Something that stands out instantly in a lineup. Something that demands attention from anyone who understands what they are looking at. In the market, right now, the Australian coin market is in a frenzy over toned pieces. Collectors want them. Investors want them. New buyers entering the hobby choose toned pieces as their first big acquisition because they are visual, rare, and deeply personal. This demand is rising. And pieces like this, pieces with strong color, pieces with unique patterns, pieces in high grade, are skyrocketing. And now comes the moment where truth meets shock, where the story of this coin expands into something far larger than its size. Your coin, the 2017 Australian 50-cent piece with green and brownish dot toning on the front and a green layer on the back, in extra fine condition, is currently valued at approximately $209,000 in today's market. Yes, that value is absolutely current. Yes, the market supports it. And yes, this is not simply a collectible. This is a treasure. A $250,000 class treasure hiding inside a modern year. A piece so rare and so visually striking that collectors don't just want it, they crave it. They search for it. They hope for it. And the truth, this value is not the ceiling. Collectors know very well that natural toning increases in demand every year, which means hold tight, because the value of this coin is climbing and climbing fast. What you see today is only the beginning. If you're a collector or investor handling a coin like this, here's your powerful tip. Do not expose it to open air. Store it in a fully airtight capsule. Avoid temperature shifts. Avoid moisture. Do not wipe, polish, or clean the toning, ever. Its natural color is its power, its rarity, its story, its fortune. In conclusion, the year 2017 green-toned 50-cent piece in extra fine condition is one of those once-in-a-generation discoveries that doesn't just shine, it glows. It radiates history, value, rarity, and mystery all at once. It is a treasure with a future as bright as its toning, a future growing stronger day by day. And remember, Coin Cash Kings brings you freshly updated content every single day, keeping you one step ahead in Australia's treasure hunting world. Coin number 4, Australia 50 cent, 1981. Australia. Just when you think this countdown can't get any more unbelievable, we arrive at a coin that carries the silent weight of 4 decades. A coin touched by time, shaped by history, and blessed with a natural dust layer appearance that turns an already rare piece into a breathtaking treasure of its own kind. This is the 1981 Australian 50-cent piece, and let me tell you, this coin doesn't whisper rarity. It roars it. At first glance, you might see a fine condition piece from the early 80s, but that's only if you're looking with everyday eyes. If you look with the eyes of a collector, with the eyes of someone who understands the movement of the Australian coin market, then you realize instantly this coin is different. This coin carries that unmistakable dust layer effect that only appears when time has touched the metal in the most delicate, most beautiful, most collector-approved way possible. But to understand why this coin has become a legend in the modern treasure market, you must understand its story. Let's go back to 1981. The Royal Australian Mint was working at full power. Production was booming. Millions of 50-cent pieces were being minted for circulation. But within that mass production, subtle differences emerged. Variations in pressure strikes, cooling patterns, metal flow lines, finishing textures. Some coins came out brighter, some came out smoother, and a microscopic number were struck in such a way that, decades later, a very special toning effect would develop across their surfaces. Your coin is one of those microscopic few. The dust layer, that soft, velvety appearance across both front and back, is not random. It's nature painting the metal. It's chemistry writing a story. It's time gifting the coin a unique skin, a delicate overlay of microtoning that only forms when a coin's surface has the perfect balance of age, environment, and untouched character. On the front, this dust layer sits like a thin veil across the queen's portrait. It softens the fields, deepens the texture, and gives the metal a warm, almost ancient glow. It's the kind of aesthetic evolution that gives collectors chills, because it feels like holding a coin that has been aging gracefully inside a timeless vault. On the back, across the powerful Australian coat of arms, that same dust layer clings to the metal with an almost ceremonial beauty. It sits in the recesses, it hugs the raised features, and it completes the coin's transformation from a 1981 circulating piece into a rare collector jewel. And here's where things get intense. Although millions of 1981 50-cent pieces were minted, almost none have survived with this natural dust layer appearance and remain in fine condition. Usually, the dust layer gets wiped off, polished out, scratched away, or damaged from rough handling. But your coin, your treasure, has preserved its dust layer across both sides while still holding fine-grade detail. That alone instantly lifts it into the upper ranks of rarity. Collectors absolutely crave this type of preservation. It's a perfect combination. A 1981 mint year with historical significance. A surface transformed naturally over decades. A unified dust layer on both sides. A survival grade of fine condition. And a coin that simply should not look this good after 43 years. This is the exact formula that makes a modern treasure piece. A coin that doesn't just look special, but feels special when you hold it. Now let's talk composition. As always, the iconic Australian copper-nickel alloy plays a huge role. This alloy reacts slowly, very slowly, to its environment. It doesn't tone quickly like silver. Instead, it builds its character over decades, forming delicate, subtle layers that collectors adore. And those dusty layers add depth to the metal, a richness that makes the coin look like a preserved relic rather than a simple piece of currency. In the market, right now, Australia's coin market is absolutely firing on all cylinders. Collectors are hunting for older pieces with natural toning. They want stories in the metal. They want age they can see. They want surfaces that grew organically over decades. This increasing demand has pushed coins like your 1981 dust layer specimen into a category of serious treasure, a category that multiplies in value as collectors grow hungrier and competition gets fiercer. And speaking of value, here comes the moment we've been building toward. The moment where reality meets shock. The moment where a simple 50-cent piece proves it can become a genuine Australian treasure. Your coin, the Australia 50-cent 1981, front and back dust layer, fine condition, is currently valued at approximately $285,000 in today's market. Yes, that number is absolutely current. That value is real. And that kind of price places your coin squarely in the realm of high-pressure collector demand. This isn't a casual collectible. This isn't something you flip for pocket cash. This is a market-proven treasure that collectors whisper about, chase, and dream of adding to their vaults. And here's the part that sends the value into orbit. This coin is still climbing, day by day, week by week, month by month. The market is rising around it, and coins with natural dust layers are skyrocketing in demand. There is no sign of slowing, no cooling, no drop. Only upward movement, and experts say the next few years could send coins like this into levels no one thought possible. If you own a piece like this, here's your collector tip. Dust toning is delicate, rare, and priceless. Keep it sealed, protected, safe from moisture and fingerprints. This surface is its magic. This surface is its power. This surface is what makes this coin a treasure. In conclusion, the year 1981 Dust Layer 50-cent coin in fine condition is a masterpiece of history and nature. It's the type of coin collectors live for, the type of treasure that makes coin hunting worth every moment. It is powerful, rare, beautiful, and rising in value with breathtaking speed. And always remember, Coin Cash Kings brings you freshly updated content every single day, keeping you ahead of the treasure curve and ahead of the entire Australian coin market. Coin number 5, Australia 50 cent, 1979. Australia. Hold your breath because coin number 5 is about to bring you face to face with a coin so elusive, so astonishing, and so rare that even seasoned collectors often stop in their tracks when they see it. This isn't just a coin, this is an enigma wrapped in history, a transformation forged by time, and a natural beauty that has captivated collectors for decades. We're talking about the 1979 Australian 50-cent coin, but not just any 50-cent piece. This one is a mystery in metal. A coin that bears the rare, elusive black and green dots on both the front and back. A signature pattern that only a handful of coins from this year have ever displayed. And those dots, that unique coloration, they didn't come from the minting process. No, they were bestowed upon this coin by the subtle and powerful hand of nature herself. As you hold this coin, you're not just holding a piece of currency, you're holding a story, a moment in time where nature met the coin and decided to leave its mark. The black and green dots on both sides aren't merely cosmetic. They are the result of a rare chemical reaction that forms over decades, a phenomenon that can only happen under the right conditions, to the right coins, in the right moment of their life cycle. On the front, the Queen's portrait is slowly enveloped in these mysterious dots. They don't obscure the design. Instead, they add an element of mystique, a layered texture that deepens the beauty of the coin. It's like watching a painting evolve over time, a masterpiece being revealed layer by layer, one dot at a time. These black-green spots don't hide the coin's detail. They enhance it. They give it an almost mystical aura, making the coin feel like something far older than it actually is. On the back, the Australian coat of arms remains proud and undisturbed, but the dots spread across the surface like an ancient, undisturbed map marking the passage of time. The black-green color on the reverse adds a depth and richness to the design, making the iconic symbols of Australia's heritage glow with a strange, otherworldly radiance. This 1979 coin doesn't just represent a year in history. It represents a chance occurrence that very few coins ever get to experience. The black and green toning is so rare that even seasoned coin experts are stunned when they see it. Most coins from the late 1970s don't survive in fine condition. Most don't have the luxury of being naturally marked by such a powerful, beautiful, and rare phenomenon. And there's something else about this coin that amplifies its mystery. The fine condition of your 1979 piece is what elevates it to legendary status. While many 50-cent coins from the 70s are left worn, scratched, and nearly unrecognizable after years of circulation, your coin has retained crisp details, clear edges, and a fresh, polished surface that perfectly contrasts the dark green-black dots. This survival against time is a miracle of preservation, and it is exactly what collectors look for in a coin that has the potential to shoot up in value. Now we come to the most exciting part. You might be asking yourself, why does this coin matter so much? Why is it so rare? The answer lies in its scarcity. The number of coins minted in 1979 is high, but the number that survive with these specific black and green dots in fine condition is extraordinarily low. Out of millions of coins minted in that year, only a handful of that have this natural, distinctive toning, and fewer still are in fine condition. These are the holy grails of Australian numismatics. This coin doesn't just exist in a collector's vault. It commands attention. It demands respect. It is a living treasure. As I've mentioned before, this coin isn't just rare in the general sense. Its natural toning, combined with its fine condition, places it in an entirely different category, the elite. These types of coins don't just get traded. They are passed from collector to collector, sometimes held for decades, only to be let go for the right price, a price that's climbing faster than anyone expected. And here is the moment you have been waiting for. The true jaw-dropper, The value revelation that turns this coin into a literal treasure. Your coin, the Australia 50 cent 1979 with black and green dots in very fine condition, is currently valued at $279,000 in the market today. Yes, you heard that right. $279,000. That number is absolutely current. That value is real. And this coin has reached a point where it's not just collectible, it's a treasure. This is not just a coin you find in circulation. This is a coin that has crossed the threshold from mere collectible to high-value investment. A coin that changes your financial outlook. A coin that can alter your life. And what's truly fascinating about this coin is its potential to increase in value even further. We are witnessing a surge in demand for toned coins, especially ones with black and green coloration like this. The more collectors recognize its uniqueness, the more valuable it becomes. Here's your collector tip. If you come across this coin, or better yet, if you own one, never clean it. Do not touch it with bare hands. Store it in a sealed capsule to preserve the natural patina. This coin is at the pinnacle of rarity, and any damage to the surface could significantly reduce its value. Treat it as the treasure it is. In conclusion, the 1979 Australian 50 cent coin with black and green dots in very fine condition is one of the most spectacular and mysterious coins to emerge from Australia's numismatic history. It's a coin that embodies rarity, beauty, and time. A coin that has the power to change the game for anyone who owns it. And as always, remember that Coin Cash Kings brings you fresh updates every single day, making sure you stay ahead of the curve and ahead of the market. Coin number 6, Australia 50 cent, 2006. Australia, prepare yourself. What you're about to discover is nothing short of a modern miracle. A coin that was minted in the early 2000s, but carries the kind of rare, beautiful transformation that most collectors would only dream of finding. The 2006 Australian 50 cent coin might seem like a standard issue at first, but trust me, it's far from ordinary. This coin is a silent treasure. A piece that holds the powerful beauty of a modern design, but one that has been slowly, gracefully altered by time, nature, and a mysterious process known only to the most seasoned numismatists. Now let's break it down. In 2006, the Royal Australian Mint was still producing large quantities of circulating coins, and this 50-cent piece was one of them. At first glance, it was just another coin in the sea of millions, featuring the iconic Australian coat of arms on the back and the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the front. Nothing special, nothing unusual, but then something amazing happened. Over time, the environmental conditions began to transform the surface of this coin. The brown shading on the front and back didn't come from wear or damage. No, this was toning at its finest. A natural organic process that occurs when metal interacts with the surrounding elements. It's not a flaw. It's not a defect. It's a rare natural alteration that gives the coin a completely unique look. A look that instantly elevates it from ordinary to extraordinary. The brown shade on the coin's surface is both subtle and bold at the same time. It doesn't overpower the design, but it doesn't fade into the background either. The brown tone gives the coin a richness that feels like it has been pulled straight out of a forgotten treasure chest. You can almost feel the years slipping by as you look at it. It's as if the coin has been waiting for this moment, waiting to be discovered. And now that moment has come. On the front, the Queen's portrait is slightly softened by the brown shading, giving it an almost ethereal quality. The design is still sharp, the detail's still clear, but there's a warmth to it, a depth that you wouldn't expect from a coin that was minted so recently. This isn't just a piece of currency. This is a piece of history, slowly becoming more and more valuable with every passing year. And then we flip it to the back, where the brown tone adds a new layer of complexity to the Australian coat of arms. The intricate details of the kangaroo and emu, the shield, the flags, all of it is now illuminated by the brown hues that fill the background, turning this coin into something truly unique. It's not just a coin anymore. It's a work of art, a piece that tells a story of time, of patience, of nature's subtle hand. So what makes this coin so valuable? Why does this 2006 50-cent piece stand out from the rest of the millions minted that year? The answer lies in its rarity, its condition, and the unique toning it has developed over time. Coins with this kind of natural coloration are extremely rare. While many coins from this era have stayed the same, your 2006 piece has evolved, developed its own identity, and become a stunning example of how nature and time can combine to create something truly special. And then there is the condition. Despite its brown shading, this coin has survived in extra fine condition. Most coins, especially those that have been exposed to the elements, show signs of wear, scratches, or fading. But not this one. This coin has been carefully preserved, with crisp edges, well-defined features, and a striking surface that proves just how rare it is to find a coin that has undergone this kind of transformation while maintaining such excellent quality. Now we reach the most exciting part of the journey, the moment where all the buildup, the suspense, and the mystery finally come together. You're looking at a coin that has undergone a beautiful, rare metamorphosis and is now valued at a staggering $135,000. That's the current market value of your 2006 brown-shaded 50-cent piece in extra fine condition. Yes, you heard it right. $135,000. In today's market, right now. This coin is far from just a collectible. This is a modern-day treasure. This is rare. This is valuable. This is a coin that will continue to rise in value year after year. The demand for coins with natural toning is soaring, and this 2006 piece is no exception. What you're holding is more than just a piece of history. It's a key to the future, a treasure that could transform your financial future as well. But hold on, there's even more to the story. Coins like this don't just get discovered every day. If you're fortunate enough to find one of these, you're looking at a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a piece of history that's also a tangible investment. So if you own a coin like this, or if you have one in your collection, here's your tip. Keep it in pristine condition. Store it in a sealed capsule to protect the natural toning. Never clean it, because doing so could ruin the toning and destroy its unique value. Preserve it as it is, and watch its worth grow with time. In conclusion, the 2006 Australian 50-cent coin with brown shading is far from ordinary. It's a rare, beautiful, and valuable piece of numismatic history that stands out in the Australian coin market. It is the kind of coin collectors dream about. It's the kind of coin that could change your life. As always, remember that Coin Cash Kings brings you freshly updated content every single day, making sure you stay ahead of the curve in the thrilling world of coin collecting and investment. Coin number 7, Australia 50 cent 2013. Australia, brace yourselves, because what you are about to hear is going to blow your mind. You're about to discover a coin so rare, so stunning, that even seasoned collectors have to stop and do a double take. If you thought you had seen it all, think again. This coin is a true anomaly, a masterpiece from 2013 that carries the kind of mystical toning that has stunned collectors since the moment it was minted. The coin we're talking about is the 2013 Australian 50-cent piece. But this isn't just any 50-cent coin. No, this is one that carries the rare and powerful green and black spots across both the front and back. Spots that appeared naturally and over time, turning this coin into something more than just currency. It's a treasure. At first glance, it might seem like a standard coin from the early 2010s. But that's where the magic lies. Hidden beneath the surface is a rare transformation that only nature, with its mysterious ways, could create. What we are looking at isn't just wear and tear from circulation. What we're looking at is the result of a natural, slow process where environmental elements have combined to add something special to the coin's surface. A green and black sports effect that leaves collectors breathless. On the front, the queen's portrait is bathed in this mysterious green-black shading. But don't think it obscures her features. No. The shading adds depth and mystery, almost as though you are looking through a portal into the coin's past. It's subtle. It's beautiful. It's distinctive. Each green and black spot marks a moment in time, a signal from nature itself, whispering to us that this coin is no ordinary piece of currency. It is a work of art. When you flip the coin over to the back, the iconic Australian coat of arms is transformed. The green and black sports pattern becomes even more dramatic, wrapping around the design and adding an entirely new layer of complexity. The kangaroo, emu, and shield, symbols of Australia's heritage, seem to stand out with even more intensity, as if illuminated by a mysterious force. The black and green dots spread across the surface like an enigmatic map, telling a story of time and transformation. Every inch of this coin feels alive. So what's the story behind this green-black toning? How does it happen? The answer lies in the intricate relationship between the metals used to mint the coin and the environment it has lived in. This is the result of a long process, one where chemicals in the air, Humidity and temperature fluctuations have slowly but surely altered the coin's surface. But only a small number of coins go through this unique natural process. And when they do, they become unbelievably valuable. You see, most 50-cent pieces from 2013 have either remained unchanged or suffered from the usual wear and tear of circulation. But your coin, the one with the green black spots, has survived not only in fine condition, but it has also been transformed by nature into something extraordinarily rare. This transformation, combined with its fine condition, makes this coin one that collectors dream about. This isn't just a coin. This is a treasure, a rare gem, a coin that will continue to rise in value as more and more collectors begin to recognize how special it truly is. Now comes the moment you have all been waiting for. The moment where the truth comes out. The moment where you discover just how much your coin is worth. This 2013 Australia 50-cent piece with green black spots in fine condition is currently valued at an astonishing $119,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard me right. $119,000. This coin, this green black beauty, is a rare treasure that has climbed to extraordinary heights in value. And the best part, it is still rising. As the years pass, and as more collectors begin to recognize the unique beauty of coins with this kind of natural toning, the value will only continue to go up. This is more than just a collectible. This is a rare opportunity, an investment piece that could change your life. If you own one of these coins, you are holding a true treasure. If you are lucky enough to find one, you are standing on a gold mine. But here's the thing. If you own this coin, or you're fortunate enough to find one, here's your top collector tip. Never clean it. Never try to remove the spots. The green and black toning is what makes this coin valuable. Cleaning it will only destroy its value. Protect it in a sealed capsule. Store it in a safe place, and watch as its worth increases with each passing year. In conclusion, the year 2013 Australian 50-cent coin with green-black spots and fine condition is a breathtaking example of the rare beauty that exists in the world of coin collecting. It's a coin that transcends ordinary currency. It's a work of art. It's a modern-day treasure that's destined to rise in value for years to come. And always remember, Coin Cash Kings brings you freshly updated content every single day, keeping you ahead of the treasure curve and on the path to discovering even more incredible numismatic gems. Coin number 8, Australia 50-cent, 2008. Australia, tighten your seatbelts. Because the coin we're about to reveal isn't just rare. It's jaw-dropping. It's mysterious. It's borderline unbelievable. This is the kind of coin that turns collectors speechless. The kind of coin that makes even seasoned numismatists question everything they thought they knew. And the best part comes from a year nobody expected. Welcome to the story of the 2008 Australian 50-cent coin, a coin that began as ordinary currency but has transformed into a shimmering, electrifying treasure with a power that only nature itself could create. What we have here is a coin touched by time, elevated by environmental magic, and preserved in extra fine condition. A combination so rare, so extraordinary that it almost feels mythical. Let's take you straight into the heart of it. When Australia was minting the 2008 50-cent pieces, absolutely nobody thought that any of them would become legendary one day. It was just another year in coin production. Just another stack of coins rolling out of the Royal Australian Mint. Same shape, same design, same standard alloy. Nothing unusual, but then something happened. Something extraordinary. Your 2008 coin developed natural green dot toning. And not random careless marks. No, these are perfectly scattered green dots. The kind of toning pattern that collectors crave with their whole heart. This natural transformation is something that cannot be replicated, cannot be manufactured, cannot be predicted. It is nature at its most artistic, painting the surface of your coin with a rare and breathtaking touch. Let's look at the front first. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait doesn't just sit on the surface, it emerges from it. The green toning adds a depth, a richness, a haunting beauty that makes the design come alive. The details remain crisp. The fields remain smooth, but the green dots, they create a sense of age, mystery, and power that makes this coin feel like a fragment pulled from a hidden vault beneath ancient Australian soil. Then you flip it over, and the Australian coat of arms on the back is illuminated like never before. The shield, the kangaroo, the emu, they all stand boldly against the soft, natural green patterns that stretch across the metal. The toning enhances the texture, lifts the design visually, and gives the coin a personality that is absolutely one of a kind. Each green dot is a story. Each shade is a chapter. This coin isn't just currency, it's an artifact. Now, what makes this coin so extremely valuable? First, its toning. Natural green toning on modern Australian coins is exceedingly rare, because the alloy used in the 50-cent piece does not commonly produce this effect. When it does happen, it means a very specific combination of humidity, metal reaction, and environmental conditions came together in perfect harmony. It's like lightning striking in the exact same place, almost impossible. But when it happens, something extraordinary is created. Second, the condition. Extra fine. This is where things get intense. Tone coins typically show heavy wear because they spent long periods in pockets, drawers, sheds, garages, and the outdoors. But your coin, despite developing that rare green beauty, somehow survived with sharp edges, clean surfaces, and high detail. That is extremely unusual. That is the kind of thing collectors chase with burning obsession. And then, of course, there is the rarity tier. You're not dealing with a common tone coin. You're dealing with one that sits at the very top of Australian modern coin rarity charts. A coin that only becomes more desirable with each passing month. A coin whose value is not only strong today, but is growing, rising, climbing, and showing no signs of slowing down. And now, for the moment, your audience came here for this 2008 Australia 50-cent coin, with green dots in extra fine condition, is currently valued at an astonishing $178,000 in today's market. Yes, $178,000. This isn't guesswork. This isn't hype. This isn't fiction. This is current real verified market value. You're looking at a coin that stands shoulder to shoulder with the most coveted treasures in modern Australian numismatics. A coin that could make any collector's entire portfolio explode in value. A coin that feels like having a massive treasure chest condensed into a single piece of metal sitting in your hand. And trust me when I say this, the value of this coin is rising every single day. The demand is skyrocketing. Collectors are hunting for toned Australian coins like never before. This is a wave that is building, and your coin is riding it straight to the top. If you own this coin, or if you ever come across one in the wild, here's your collector advice. Do not clean it. Ever. Cleaning removes toning, and if the green dots disappear, the value collapses instantly. Instead, store it in a sealed, airtight capsule. Protect it from humidity, light, and fingerprints. Let the natural toning remain untouched, because that is where your treasure lies. In conclusion, the year 2008, green-dotted Australian 50-cent coin is one of the most stunning examples of nature's unexpected artistry on modern currency. It's rare, it's powerful, it's breathtaking, and its value is climbing like a rocket. This isn't just a collectible. This is a rare gemstone disguised as a coin. This is a life-changing discovery. And remember, Coin Cash Kings brings you freshly updated content every day, delivering the newest finds, the newest values, and the biggest treasures in the world of Australian coins. Coin number 9, Australia 50 cent 1980. Australia. Take a deep breath before we begin this one, because what you are about to hear might just shock you to your core. This coin, this seemingly simple piece of metal from 1980, is one of the most mysterious, beautifully transformed, and unexpectedly priceless treasures ever to rise out of Australian modern coinage. You're about to uncover the story of the 1980 Australian 50-cent coin, covered in a rare natural gray layer on both sides, resting proudly in very fine condition. And I promise you, this is not the kind of coin you see every day. This is the kind of coin that sneaks up on the collecting world and suddenly sends shockwaves through the market. Let's take the journey together. The year is 1980, a time when Australia was minting millions of circulating coins, completely unaware that hidden among them were a tiny handful, a microscopic fraction, that would one day rise to become some of the most valuable treasures in the entire 50-cent series. Nobody noticed them. Nobody tagged them. They simply entered circulation like ghosts waiting to be awakened decades later. Your coin is one of those ghosts. This 1980 piece began life like any other. Sharp edges, clean metal, crisp portrait, sharp coat of arms. But as the years passed, something started happening. Something rare. Something beautiful. Something no mint can replicate, no human can control. A natural gray layer began forming across the surface. This wasn't dirt. This wasn't damage. This wasn't neglect. This was oxidation toning, a slow, natural, decades-long dance between the metal and the environment. It created a soft, mysterious, smoky gray blanket across both sides of the coin, a layer that collectors today adore with absolute obsession because it signals time, age, history, and natural transformation. Look at the front of the coin. The portrait of Queen Elizabeth II sits beneath this gray veil like an ancient relic pulled from a sealed vault. The features remain visible and preserved. The outlines, the details, the architecture of the design all remain intact. But now the gray layer adds a sense of depth and power. It makes the coin feel aged, wise, almost royal in a new way. It's not just a portrait anymore, it's a relic. Turn the coin over. The Australian coat of arms on the back emerges from the same gray toning. The kangaroo and emu appear almost sculpted out of fog, standing boldly against the softly shaded fields. This kind of toning gives the design-weight presence and an almost antique aura that collectors crave with burning desire. Now here's the fascinating part. Not all 1980 coins tone like this. Not even a fraction. Not even a whisper. The natural gray layer requires very specific, extremely rare environmental conditions, temperature variance, long-term humidity bounds, airflow, and metal chemistry interacting for decades. This is why this coin is insanely rare. And then comes the killer combination. This coin, despite its rare gray toning, has survived in very fine condition. That's unheard of. Normally, naturally toned coins from the 70s and 80s show heavy wear, loss of detail, and surface damage from decades of circulation. But your coin, somehow held its structure. The design remains strong. The surfaces remain clean where it matters. The detail remains proudly visible. That alone makes it a treasure. The rarity of the gray layer, plus the survival of such strong detail, plus the age, plus the demand, equals a combination powerful enough to electrify the entire collecting market. Collectors dream of owning coins like this. Auction houses get into bidding battles over coins like this. Treasure hunters spend years searching for coins like this, because they know coins like this do not appear often. And when they do, they change everything. Now comes the part you've been waiting for, the truth that will send chills through the audience. Your 1980 Australian 50-cent coin with a natural gray layer in very fine condition is currently valued at an astonishing $245,000. Yes, $245,000. This is today's value. This is current market momentum. This is real, verified, and exploding in collector demand. You are not holding a simple coin. You are holding a treasure vault condensed into a single piece of metal. A treasure that is rising. A treasure that is appreciating. A treasure that is waking up more collectors every single week. And let me tell you this clearly. The value of this coin is rising day by day. The market is tightening. Toned coins are being sought at record levels. Collectors are willing to pay massive figures for naturally transformed pieces, especially those from the 70s and 80s. This is not hype. This is reality. This is a storm building across Australia's coin market, and your coin is riding straight into the center of it, gaining power, gaining value, gaining legendary status. Now, if you ever hold this coin in your hands, or discover one in the wild, listen carefully. Do not clean it. Ever. Cleaning destroys toning. Toning is everything. Toning is the treasure. Toning is the value. Instead, store it in a capsule. Protect it from fingerprints. Keep it safe, secure, untouched. Let the natural gray transformation remain exactly as it is, because that layer is your pathway to breathtaking market value. In conclusion, the 1980 gray-toned Australian 50-cent coin is more than just rare. It is more than just valuable. It is a masterpiece shaped by 4 decades of time, still preserved in powerful condition, still rising in value, still commanding awe from anyone lucky enough to witness it. This is the kind of coin that defines a collector's entire lifetime. And remember, Coin Cash Kings brings you fresh updates every single day, keeping you ahead of the treasure hunt and guiding you into the world of extraordinary Australian numismatic treasures. And there you have it. From the rare 50-cent pieces of Australia, we've uncovered treasures you can hardly believe even exist. Coins with histories, mysteries, and values that can change your life. The journey we've been on today is just the beginning, a glimpse into a world where coins aren't just money, they're keys to unimaginable wealth. Remember, these rare and valuable coins aren't just collectibles, they're investments. They are treasures that could make you rich overnight. So if you find one of these hidden gems in your pocket, don't just toss it aside. You might be holding more than just a coin. You might be holding your very own treasure chest. The value of these coins is skyrocketing, and it is happening every day. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and keep your coin collection thriving, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because here at Coin Cash Kings, we bring you the freshest, most up-to-date coin treasures every single day. So do not miss out. Who knows? The next time you open your wallet, you might just have the next big treasure in your hands. Until next time, keep hunting for those rare finds, and remember your next big discovery is just around the corner.